Shunare! And welcome to another episode of Buzzed Pucks. Like always, I'm Bert, but not like always, we have a special guest today. You want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Jenny.
This is Jenny, Clay's girlfriend. And Clay is out of town because he's an asshole and went on vacation. Don't make a face at me. No, Clay's just on vacation and he's out of town. So Jenny, very nicely, is filling in for him. Jenny, do you watch a lot of hockey?
Yes, Bert.
No, you did.
Don't lie. Religious hockey watch.
Don't lie.
No, I don't watch a lot of hockey, but I have a jersey. And
she does have a jersey on.
That's true. That counts.
Everybody guess what jersey she has on. Did you guess?
It's a Capitals jersey.
Did you guess? It's an Alex Ovechkin jersey.
Ovechkin, because 8 is my favorite number.
Oh,
and Ovechkin is a great player.
Is 8 really your favorite?
It's really my favorite number.
I did not know that about you.
And it's the Capitals.
That's true.
Which is Clay's favorite
team.
Clay
keeps pretending like we haven't definitely pointed out which teams that we personally cheer for.
Oh, he doesn't say it's the Capitals.
Well,
Clay's favorite team is the Capitals, and therefore I have their jersey.
I'm pretty sure he's basically said that before, and last week I went on, I mentioned a few times that I'm from Pittsburgh, so you could probably guess what team I cheer for.
He's definitely a Maple Leaf fan.
A single Maple Leaf fan. So this week we're also doing something a little different because Jenny does not like beer.
No.
So we're drinking some cider this week. And we're drinking Down East Cider.
Woohoo!
It's a variety pack. We have their original, it's just called white.
We don't know what that means.
And their double. And of course, as always, we have Ginger just wandering around in the background making noise.
Yep. Gotta love it.
That'll be forever. Down East is from Boston, in case anybody was wondering. But let's crack these open and get to it, Jenny. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a sound effect. Cider.
It's real live sound effect. I'll start, okay?
Oh boy, we're starting.
And oh boy. Oh, and I think I mentioned this last week on the podcast, but Jenny is also going to... Ginger's trying to get food or something that's under a counter. She's really going for it.
Continue. Jenny's going to.
Jenny's going to, rate or talk about how she feels about all the team's jerseys.
That's my contribution to this.
That's fine. That's fun, I think. And yeah, she's going to read off the stats that Clay gave her.
Yes. Yes.
So
I worked really hard to prepare for this
lot
moment.
Of fun. I think it'll be fun. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with the Metro Division.
Mm-hmm.
And the first team in the Metro Division we're going to talk about is the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, boy.
So the Hurricanes went 2-1 this week. They beat Tampa Bay in overtime. They lost to Philadelphia. And they beat St. Louis. Their power play this week was 2 for 12. And their penalty kill was 12 for 13. Pretty good penalty kill week for them, would you say?
Sounds like it. Yeah. It's a high
They're
number.
They're 11-2 overall on the season.
11 wins and 2 losses?
Mm-hmm.
In overtime, or 1 loss in overtime and 1?
They don't have any losses in overtime yet. They're 11-2. They're 11-2. They won in overtime.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I was distracted by the jersey.
It's okay. Their top player this week was Freddie Anderson. He played 2 games this week. He's one of their goalies. He was 1 for 1. But he had a 150 goals against average and a 935 save percentage.
Wow.
Would you like me to answer any questions about
No, that just sounds great.
Those numbers?
No, those numbers sound great.
That means he's averaging giving up 1.5 goals a game.
Uh-huh.
And he saved 93.5% of the shots that he faced.
So why don't you say 93.5? Why is it 935?
I don't know. It's just how... Well, it's 0.935. So it is the percentage. It's just in decimal. I don't know. That's just how they record.
2 a 100th. Okay.
Yeah, 2 a 100th. That's just how they record.
Wonderful.
There. And no major injuries for them this week. What do you think about their jerseys?
I think their jerseys are quite stylish. I don't really know the black jersey.
The black jersey, so we're looking at their home jersey, which is on top here, Jenny.
That's a nice one.
Their away jersey, which is on the bottom.
Totally fine.
And we are also looking at their alternative jerseys, if a team has an alternative jersey.
Are those flags coming off of the stick?
Yes, so those are actually Hurricane flags.
Oh, It's silly.
It's to mark, I guess, a hurricane is coming.
I mean, they are in North
Or
Carolina, so I
hurricane,
guess
like, area, possibly.
that makes sense. It's my high school colors, so I'm very much into this
Red and
color
black.
scheme. And white, yeah. Those are...
Oh.
That's like the jersey right
It's
there.
a pretty cool jersey.
Yeah.
I
so
like their alternative jersey.
I'm not hating any of their jerseys, and I like that there's a consistent theme of colors.
Yeah. And then this one over to the side here, I don't know if they're actually ever going to wear these, but Carolina used to be the Hartford Whalers.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And then they moved that team in the mid-90s, I think.
Huh.
For financial reasons, I'm pretty sure. But I always thought the Hartford Whalers had the coolest logo. I know it's a little hard to see right here.
Yeah, no, the logo's good. The color is putrid.
The bright green and white.
It's like unpleasant
You
to
don't
look
like
at.
that? You don't like those
No.
colors?
It's like the Seahawks, but less highlighter and more.
Yeah, it's a little less highlighter than the Seahawks.
More like snot.
More like snot.
But
Actually,
I like the logo.
there's a few
Good
jerseys
logo.
that kind of look like a highlighter color.
Oh, I can't wait.
We'll get to them, don't you worry.
Yeah, isn't it Nashville?
Oh yeah, we'll get to Nashville, but the one I'm thinking of is this one right here. We'll get to them in a little bit though.
Oh boy.
Next up, we're talking about Columbus. They went 0-2 this week. They lost to Washington, and they also lost to the Rangers.
Washington Capitals or the Seattle Kraken? What are you talking about? Washington.
No, when we talk about Seattle, we'll just say
You say
Seattle.
Okay.
Washington, D.C.
Woo!
They went 1 for 5 on the power play and 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. Kind of a meh week.
Kind of a
there.
meh week.
And they are 7-5-0 overall.
Not terrible.
No, not terrible.
Not great.
Everybody in the Metro Division's doing okay. The Penguins aren't doing so hot, but they're the only team that's kind of...
Good thing you don't like them.
Yeah, good thing I don't like that team or anything. I wrote nobody for their top player because they kind of had a bad week. That's kind of how I roll sometimes.
Nobody
I'm just
gets
like,
the
you did
MVP
it.
award.
Nobody gets an MVP this week because you guys didn't do that great.
Wow.
All right, let's pull up their jerseys. Oh, and no significant injuries for these guys this week. Here's the Columbus jerseys. What do you think?
Well, I don't hate them. I'm confused by their specialty jersey.
This one?
Yeah.
With the cannon on it?
Well, it's just a completely different color scheme than the other two.
Well, some of these will be totally different color schemes because a lot of teams have gone through many different colors in their history. Like the Penguins jerseys actually used to be blue, like bright blue. They look much better now. But,
okay.
Yeah, but I actually don't think that is the case with Columbus because they've only been around since 2000.
I mean, I'm all about history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also all about branding.
Mm-hmm.
And their normal pants don't
These red pants?
Yeah, they clash really hard with their specialty jerseys. So I'm giving
Well,
this...
I think these are I think these pants
No,
go
I
with
understand that. I'm
You just
just
don't
looking
like
at
it?
them next round. Like, so I'm giving these like
maybe I'm
a
wrong.
4 out of 10.
Okay. What about Carolina? You didn't rate them.
9.
9. Okay. Well, there you go, Carolina. You can Jenny.
And it's only because
Jenny says
it's only because of the specialty jerseys. I just don't like it.
Columbus. You mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Take that, Columbus.
Great city though.
All right. Let's move on to the New Jersey Devils. I'll pull up their jerseys for you to peruse while I talk. New Jersey went 2-1-1 this week. They beat Florida and the New York Islanders, but they lost to Boston and they lost to the Rangers in a shootout. So 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 overtime loss.
Gotcha.
And that takes them to 7-4-3 overall on the season. Also not bad. They're doing all right.
Yeah.
They were 4 for 10 on the power play this week. That's pretty dang good. 40%.
Yeah.
And 7 for 8 on the penalty kill. Also pretty good.
Yep.
As for their top players, I actually wrote down 2 because they had the exact same stat line for the week. Jesper Bratt and Dawson Mercer each had 2 goals and 4 assists in those 4 games for 6 points total on the week for those guys. Pretty good week for both of them.
Yeah.
And again, no major injuries this week, thankfully.
Oh, good.
How do you feel about their jerseys?
They're fine. I mean, they're also my high school colors. It's a very
true.
basic logo.
What if I told you that these, instead of black, used to be like dark green?
No, I'd hate that.
Yeah.
It's just Christmas.
I've seen people be like, they should bring those jerseys back, and I'm like, they're ugly.
I mean, I love Christmas.
But it's like dark forest green and then like this shade of red.
Yeah, that's a lot. So yeah, I like them because they're also clean and basic and good colors, but they don't have a specialty jersey, so they only get a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Or if they do, they haven't announced what it is yet.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Losers. All right, let's go to the Islanders, who actually only played one game this week. They were 0 for 1. And like I just mentioned, they lost to New Jersey. They actually got shut out by New Jersey, 4-0.
Wow.
They were 0 for 3 on the power play and 1 for 2 on the penalty kill in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Their overall record is 5-4-2. And I didn't give them a top player this week because
they had a bad week.
They had a bad one game this week.
They only played one game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they also did not score in that game at all. So sucky week for them.
Yeah.
How do you feel about their jerseys?
Love them. Orange and blue, good colors.
Orange and blue, good colors. What about the...
It's a little boring. Their specialty jersey, there's really nothing special.
Yeah, it almost looks like the normal jersey, really.
Right, it's like less exciting than their normal jersey.
It's just with like a blown up version
but they have one, so I'm going to say 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm going to start a separate podcast that's just me rating sports jerseys. And it's going to be
That's
huge.
fine.
It's gonna
there's plenty of sports teams everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
we're gonna get into like Little League, and I'm just gonna tear apart children's jerseys.
Goddamn!
These children's jerseys are just garbage.
those goddamn Chestnut Hill, the Warriors, stupid. Their colors are blue and gold.
Everyone's colors are blue and gold.
All right, let's talk about the Rangers.
Boo.
The Rangers were 3-0 this week.
Boo.
They beat Florida, they beat Columbus, and they beat New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
They were 2-7 on the power play, 5 for 6 on the penalty kill, and they're 9-3-3 overall on the season.
It's very interesting.
As for their top player is Chris Kreider, who had 3 goals and 1 assist this week.
You know what I think is most interesting about hockey?
What's that?
As a sport. There's a lot of trading. I feel like more than other sports. Yeah. And, like, every year the team is complete. Like, last year the Rangers sucked, I recall.
Sucked is kind of a strong word.
They were the bottom of their league for a while.
They were, I would say, more lower middle pack.
So not great.
Not great.
And this year they're, like, they're, like, near the top
so
of their
far,
league.
But you gotta remember we're 15 games into an 82-game season, so there's plenty of time for them to fall off.
Well, I just... yeah. I don't like them.
Okay, that's
my
fine.
Strong
that's
opinion.
Totally fine. You're allowed to not like them.
Yeah.
What do you think about their jerseys? Do you have a bias against their jerseys?
No, I don't. They're red, white, and blue. They're snazzy. They're
Merca.
bright. But again, they don't have a specialty jersey.
They don't have a specialty
so I'm going to have
jersey.
to go with my 6 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair. A little above average.
It looks kind of like a
like
Girl Scout. See, I think that reminds me of like a Girl Scout.
You don't like the diagonal?
Sash.
You don't like the diagonal letters?
No, it's
I
like
like the diagonal letters.
No, I just think it looks like someone's great aunt made them a jersey.
Wow.
And she decided to be festive with it and go like diagonally across it and be like, oh look, it's not a cross, it's diagonal. And like, like try to make it fancy, and that's just kind of what they went with. But 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, Rangers. That's all you're worth.
See, I really just don't like the Rangers. Oh boy.
All right, let's talk about the Flyers, who went 1-2 this week. They got shut out by Toronto. They did beat Carolina, and then they lost to Dallas. They were 1 for 13 on the power play. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Sounds
bad.
like it.
And 9 for 11 on the penalty kill, which is
Not
okay.
bad.
Yeah, that's okay. And their overall record is 7-4-2.
Not bad.
And their top player I gave to Carter Hart, who is their goalie, and he played 2 games this week. He was 1-1. She's under the table.
I know.
He had a 2.00 goals against average and a 0.945 save percentage this week.
Wow.
Yeah. And then again, no major injuries this week for this team. Thankfully, at least for my teams, there weren't too many injuries.
That's good. I don't know if mine had any, so I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll gloss over it. It's fine. It's Clay's fault.
He might have put him in.
Maybe.
I haven't actually read any of the notes yet.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I like to go off the cuff. I do my best work.
I like it. I like that. How do you feel about the Flyers jerseys? The good old orange and black.
I mean, who doesn't love Halloween all year round, right? I mean, I don't.
Spooky Halloween
I do not hate them, but I do not find anything special about. I guess their specialty one's cool, all black with the orange stripes.
It's alright.
It's fine. They're fine. 7 out of 10.
Okay.
There's nothing special about them. They don't change up the logo at all.
I'll be totally honest. I don't love the color orange. I just really don't. Just
I don't like a lot of orange.
Yeah.
Like, I like it to be tampered down.
So you don't like that top one where it's all orange and white?
See, I don't like that. The bottom
You
one
don't
that's
like the
all
bottom
white
one?
with some orange more. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'd rather have the orange.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't like that on the specialty jersey. It's black, and then their logo is black, and it just
Yeah, it doesn't really stand out.
Black, and they have the outline around it, but it's just not very good.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way about the numbers too.
Yeah.
I wish the numbers were orange on the back, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't
7
know.
out of 10.
All right.
Not great.
7 out of 10.
Not bad.
I mean, 7 out of 10 is pretty good. It's not like a solid C. Solid C from Jenny.
Wow.
Wow. All right, on to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They did not have a good week. They went 1-2-1 this week.
Okay.
They lost in a shootout to Chicago. They beat Florida in a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Ottawa, and they got crushed by the Capitals. So not a good week overall. They were 0 for 12 on the power play and 9 for 12 on the penalty kill.
Okay.
To take them to 5-5-4 overall record. Not great.
Not a great year for them. See, another team that did really well last year.
Yeah, well, the thing, at least with the Penguins, I can explain it a little bit. They've had a lot of injury issues and COVID issues to start the season. In that Washington game, they got, I think, 4 starters and their head coach back from the COVID list. So, but they still got creamed in that game. So
COVID's the worst, man.
yeah, COVID's pretty terrible. Everybody should get their shots.
Get vaccinated.
Yeah, get vaxxed. As for their top player, I gave it to Evan Rodriguez. He did have a good week. He had 3 goals and an assist. Even though the team overall didn't have a great week, he played pretty well. And like I said, they got a lot of guys back from the COVID list this week, and they didn't have any other major injuries, which is shocking for the Penguins because usually there's like 1 major injury a week.
Good for them.
Fucking terrible. So yeah, how do you feel about their jerseys? Good old black and gold.
I can't say I love them.
How dare you?
I'm not big on the black and yellow combo.
No?
I don't think it's like, no, I don't like it.
Okay.
It's just,
You're allowed to have your opinions,
I
even
know.
if they're wrong.
I just don't.
I love their. Well, I'm biased, but I really like their home jerseys.
I just think they're a lot.
You're a lot.
I know, and so
I've
are
known you
these
for
jerseys.
years, and you're a lot more than this jersey.
I don't know about that.
I do.
So yeah, it's a lot of yellow, and yellow is one of my favorite colors, but not on jerseys. I think it's a lot.
Okay.
And especially with black, it's just a very strong contrast.
What if I told you that all of the major sports Pittsburgh teams all had the same color scheme? They're all black and gold. Nice synergy to those teams.
I do love synergy.
Synergy throughout the teams.
5 out of 10.
All right, that's fine.
They don't have a specialty jersey.
They don't. That's true. They don't.
So
I think they're supposed to, but they haven't revealed what it is yet this year.
I do like that their logo is a penguin playing hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is pretty funny.
Most of where the 5 points is coming
There
from.
was they had an outdoor game one year, and I believe the jerseys they wore in that game it was the same logo except they put a little hat and a scarf on the penguin
That's
in
cute.
the logo. I really like that one. But moving on from the Penguinos, we're gonna go to the Washington Capitals, who, oh shit, I didn't write down their overall numbers, but I think they had a yes, they went undefeated this week. They were 4-0. They beat Buffalo. They shut out Detroit.
Everyone beats Buffalo.
Buffalo's been doing okay this year.
Crazy.
I know, it is pretty crazy. They beat Columbus, and like I said, they beat the crap out of the Penguins. Stupid. They went 2 for 11 on the power play. It's okay.
Not great.
Not great, but okay. It's not 0-4, you know.
Yeah.
And then they were perfect on the penalty kill this week. They were 11 for 11 on the penalty kill this week.
Whoa.
I apologize. I had to do math real quick. As for in that Columbus game, the guy whose jersey you're wearing,
Ovechkin,
Alex Ovechkin, scored a goal, and that is his 742nd goal in his career, which makes him 4th all time in goal scoring. I think by the end of the year he will, unless he gets injured, and I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He will be 3rd all time because I think he only needs like 25 more goals, and there's
80s.
There's like 60 more games in the season.
In the regular season.
In the regular season. Well, playoff, that doesn't count playoff goals.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, but he's on track to be 3rd by the end of the year, and then, just a few short years, he might have number 1 all time.
Take that, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, you're right. That is Wayne Gretzky that he's chasing, who's number 1 overall.
I know everything about hockey, Bird.
Obviously. Well, here's a fun thing about hockey. If somebody's like, who is the all-time leader in this category? If it's not a goalie, it's almost assuredly Wayne Gretzky.
I knew that. Which
is super annoying. Except like penalty minutes.
Right. Clay told me that even if he never scored a goal in his life, he would still be the number 1 points holder because of how many assists he had.
Yeah, he has like 1,900 assists or something like that.
So.
Which is crazy. She's like sitting on my feet.
I'm really sorry.
No,
not me, Ginger.
No, Ginger is.
Let's clarify.
And then Alex Ovechkin was also their top player this week.
Obviously.
Because he had 2 goals and 6 assists this week for 8 points. Very good week for Ovi. And like I said, 4th all time. I would like to see him catch Gretzky because I'm really tired of Gretzky having every
Clay said it's the only record that anyone could ever be close to getting of his.
That's true.
Right now.
And the only reason that is because of Ovechkin. Just the prolific way that he scores.
Well, he's a prolific man. I guess. I don't know anything about him. I just have his jersey.
Well, you're not wrong. He's a prolific scorer. And as for injuries, this is the one injury in the Metro Division, I guess. Nick Dowd. It's Nick Dowd. His last name is Dowd. Got put on the IR this week for a lower body injury. The IR is the injury reserve. So usually that means they'll miss at least a week, if not longer than that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Oh my god.
They're so good. Okay. You can't even deny
10.
that they're great jerseys.
Even with this.
I love that.
The W with stars on it.
Yeah, I think it's great. Because it's different than their normal logo.
Okay.
I like...
It's the same color scheme,
their colors. I like that it's red, white, and blue, but they don't try to do too much. Like, each jersey has, like, one really main colors, and then the other colors are used sparingly.
That's fair.
So it's not like, stripe. No. It's, like, nice. Especially their red jerseys, which I'm modeling right now, and it looks fantastic on me. So I like them a lot, because it's just, like, all red with, like, a little bit of some...
A little white and blue in there.
A little white, a little blue. It's not
but
like...
it's mostly red.
Right.
Yeah.
I like a good base main color. So,
right.
10 out of 10. And
okay.
I'm biased, so.
You don't even like hockey. Alright, your turn.
I like this jersey. It's my turn.
Your turn.
Oh, gosh.
That was the Metro Division.
Welcome, folks.
We go 1 for 1 in divisions. Like I do a division, he does a division.
Alright, so, welcome to the Atlantic Division. We're starting today. It's going to be so good. With the Boston Bruins, a team that everyone can agree that they hate. And they win...
Except for people from Boston. Probably.
Does anyone from Boston listen to this podcast?
Not that I've seen yet.
Wonderful.
Next year, this is going to be the first week.
And they're going to be like, great, we're done.
I hate this. This podcast's stupid.
There's nothing wrong with Boston. They're a great team. They're just really good, and it's intimidating.
Yeah.
So, they went 3-1 this week.
Ooh.
They beat Ottawa, because everyone did.
Well, Pittsburgh didn't, but...
tied to Edmonton.
No,
That's the date. That's the date.
That's the date, Jenny.
Oh, no. They lost to Edmonton.
There you go.
They won to the New Jersey Devils, and obviously they won to the Maple Leafs.
Boom, take that Maple
Leafs. Right, that's what MTL means?
That's Montreal.
Canadiens?
Yeah.
They still won.
They still beat them. They
This is
still
going
beat that Canadian team.
really well. This brings their average to 8.50, which is a pretty great.
8-5.
Yep, it's a pretty great thing. Their power play, they were 3 for 12.
It's pretty good.
And their penalty
kill,
not kick. He just put PK.
It's what it stands for in hockey. It does stand for other things. Yeah, that's fine.
They're
that's
12 for 12, so good job them. Their best player is Charlie McAvoy.
Hey, good job.
Who had
That's
2
correct.
goals, 4 assists, 10 hits, whatever that means. He just hit it 10 times towards the goal.
He hit other players 10 times.
He hit them?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what you do in hockey.
So he's my new favorite player, and he blocked 8 shots
Wow, that's
over
pretty good.
4 games.
That's really good, actually.
Is he a defense player?
Yes, he's a defenseman. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, wonderful.
Let's look at their jerseys.
Look at them jerseys.
Yeah, same as. There's nothing special.
They're very similar to the Pittsburgh jerseys.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And as we discussed, I don't like that color scheme. And also, their specialty jersey is just a B.
It's just a big old B.
It's less exciting than their regular jersey.
I think you can't really see it, but
Much
on
like
their
the Devils.
on their shoulder,
Or the Islanders.
they have a little bear because they're the Bruins. So there's a little bear on their
I don't
shoulder.
know what Bruins means.
It's a bear. It's just another word for a bear. Yeah.
Wow.
A Bruin.
Well, that gives it an extra point, so 6 out of 10.
There you go.
And they have a specialty jersey.
Just got a little bear on your
I
shoulder.
do love a good little bear.
All right.
And now we're on to the Buffalo Sabres. Sorry, I just got really loud. I leaned in.
That's okay.
They're 1 for 2.
Clay's usually like back here, so
Clay
it's
kind of
fine.
goes like this and then back.
He doesn't
back out,
understand
so
that he should hunch over and like talk into the mic.
Oh boy. So the
I
Sabres.
hope you're listening, Clay.
I hope you enjoy this on your drive home later.
Son of a bitch.
The Sabres were 1 to 2, 1, 2.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
They won 1, they lost 2. You know
There you
what
go.
I'm saying.
There you go.
They lost to Washington. Take that. They won to Edmonton. And then they lost to Toronto. TOR.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
Maple
there you
Leafs,
go.
who are not having a good year. And that brings their record to 6-6-2, which is pretty admirable for Buffalo.
It's funny because they actually started really well. They started like 5-1 or something, so they're coming back down to earth.
Isn't there an undefeated team, or is that no longer? Was that Carolina?
No, yeah, Carolina was technically the last undefeated team, and then they lost, I believe, to Florida, who was the last team that didn't have a regulation loss. But then Florida lost this week. So.
Gotcha. So their power play was 0 for 8, not great.
Boo.
And then their penalty kill is 6 out of 10, so like a solid D-.
That's pretty bad.
It's actually like an F.
That's
an F.
That's not good.
But they had two good players. Dylan Cousins, I'm guessing is how you say that, is the game winner versus the Oilers.
He scored the game winner against the Oilers.
Good job, Dylan. And Jeff Skinner had 2 goals and 1 assist in 3 games. I feel like that's not that impressive. Is that impressive?
It's a point. It's a point per game, which is fairly good. But if you're looking for in 1 week, and what did they have? 3 games?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 points in 3 games is pretty good.
I mean, I couldn't do it. So
I couldn't do it either.
Good
I
job.
can't even ice skate. So
it's really tragic when I try.
Yeah.
Good job, Jeff. I have weak ankles. Next we have. We didn't look at their jersey.
I'm just unbalanced. How do you like that?
I don't.
Really? Because you just went on and on about how the Washington Capitals jerseys are all one color with little highlights in them.
That's a stressful color.
I thought you wouldn't
blue. But would you want? That's a lot of blue, and it's not
it's
like
a weird.
Nice.
It's like a weird shade.
It's
of
a
blue.
very bright blue. Like having that color blue in your house would be a stressful experience.
Where would I like to see that color?
Like having the Capitals blue as like an accent wall in your bathroom is tranquil.
Like a dark blue.
Yeah, that's like a tranquil accent color. Putting that as an accent color in your house is inviting people to not want to stay. Like,
it's one of those colors that like forces madness in people.
Yeah, that's what you should put in prison. That should be the
is,
color for all prisoners.
Sabres blue.
Well,
you know what? They
orange.
should make every prisoner just watch Sabres game and have them cheer for the Sabres.
Horrifying. And they all have to wear jerseys.
Yeah.
And then the orange is not like an orange.
It's yellow.
Like, that's yellow.
That's yellow.
It's like an orangey yellow. It's not good.
It's like a yellow.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
The bottom jersey's much better.
The white one?
The white one with the blue and yellow accents is a much better
You're right,
jersey.
it does look kind of better.
And then the
Yeah.
top one is just absolutely stressful.
Yeah, maybe if they toned down that blue a little bit.
It's so bright.
It's pretty intense.
So we're going to go with like a 4.
A 4? Ooh,
I just hate
down there
that.
with...
Like, I'm trying to not... Like,
who
I
else
like
did you give
that
a
one.
4?
I don't
Did you
remember.
give New Jersey a 4?
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Someone who's listening, please tell us. Keep
Somebody
score.
tally the numbers. Somebody.
Let us know who wins. It'll be the Capitals.
Alright. Who's next?
Oh, yeah, it's still me.
Yeah, it's still you.
Hold on.
You have like 6 more teams before you get another
No.
break.
The Detroit Red Wings.
Wet Wings.
The Red Wings. I sound like Barry Quipke from
Barry
Big Bang
Quipke.
Theory. You don't like that show. It's really
It's
funny.
okay. I just thought it went on too long.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
I didn't watch all of it, so I guess.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I stopped after like season 6 or 7 or something.
That's
And I
fair.
was just like, this
I
is
watched
like the
the
same
finale, and it was satisfying, and so I'm
thing.
good.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Detroit Red Wings were 2-1, 2-1, 2-1
There you go.
this week. We're
There
gonna
you go.
get there, friends.
We're getting there.
They won versus Edmonton. They lost versus the Caps. Woo-hoo. And they were an overtime win against Montreal.
MTL.
Yep.
Good
We're
job.
doing it.
Good job. Look
Darn,
at you.
darn Clay and his abbreviations. Their power play was 0 for 8, not great,
No,
but
not
their
good.
penalty kill was 9 for 9. So
Very
that's
good.
pretty good.
Very good, yeah.
And then Dylan Larkin, I'm getting some good names here. Dylan Larkin.
You're getting the easy to pronounce ones.
Yeah. Had 3 goals and 2 game-winning goals in 3 games. So that's a pretty good week for Dylan
2
Larkin.
game winners. That's really good.
Much
actually.
better than Jeff Skinner.
He, I believe.
So.
Oh yeah, here he is. Right here. This is him.
Oh yeah. look at that.
He is also their captain too. So.
That's a terrible jersey.
You don't like that one? This is like a legendary jersey in the NHL.
Listen.
She's, she's licking my hand, and she was that loud about licking my hand.
She's a loud licker. I don't hate it. I wish that their logo wasn't also red.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
It does. It is
The
hard to
bold
stand
red
out.
jersey, I
Yeah.
really do, but I don't like that the logo
Well,
is also
Their
red.
jersey is like a very simplistic jersey.
And
it's
I like
just
simplistic,
red
yeah.
and white.
Yeah. And I like that, but I just
Yeah.
wish that maybe the logo wasn't also red on a bright red jersey.
That's fair.
But
It is
other than
kind of hard to
that-
tell. Their away jersey. I like their away jersey.
I like
a
the
lot.
away jersey better because it's white with the red logo on it, so
Yeah.
it pops. I like a good pop. So I'm going to say, and they don't have a specialty jersey, so that takes
No, they
another
don't.
point off,
Yeah.
so I'm going to have to say 6 out of 10.
I don't know what their specialty jersey would be because these have literally been their jerseys for almost their entire
Well, that's cool.
history.
Gotta love history.
Yeah, and they're one of the original 6 teams in the
I
NHL.
knew that.
Yeah, good job.
I
Do you know
knew
what
that.
the other ones are?
Yes, I do.
What are they? So we said Detroit already.
Boston.
Good. You mentioned 2 of them already.
They're 2 Canadian teams.
Mhm.
Montreal
Mhm.
and Toronto.
Mhm.
And are the other
There's
2
2 more.
America?
Yes,
Oh, I did this recently.
they're pretty big cities. They're very
Rangers.
Yes, the
And
Rangers.
Penguins?
No.
Big city. I never get the last one. Is it the New Jersey Devils?
Mm-mm.
No, that's not a big city.
No.
Chicago?
Yes, Chicago.
The Blackhawks.
Yep.
Look at me, guys.
There you go.
I'm
You
a
got it.
professional
You got it.
hockey enthusiast.
Well, you hit you hit those 5. Like
I'm really good.
You were good.
Because we went over this like a couple
In
weeks ago.
in your defense, Pittsburgh, along with I believe Philadelphia and maybe a couple other, and St. Louis, were part of the very first expansion of the
Okay.
NHL.
I would have guessed that with Philly, yeah.
Yeah, Philly. I believe it was 1966. I think.
Great.
Maybe I'm wrong. It wasn't the first one, but it was one of the first expansions.
1966. I remember it well. The Florida Panthers had a bad week. Bad week for the Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers.
They were 0-2-2. So they lost against the New York Rangers. They lost against the New Jersey Devils. They SOL'd against Pittsburgh.
Shootout loss.
Tragic. They had a shootout loss. I'm getting a text message. A shootout loss against
Ginger.
Pittsburgh. And then an overtime loss against TBL.
Tampa Bay.
Makes sense.
Tampa
the
Bay.
Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
You know, he could have written this out for me. This is kind of rude.
Yeah.
I think he set me up to fail.
You're doing pretty good, honestly.
So they had 4 losses,
pretty bad.
essentially.
Yeah.
Not great for them. Ooh, I like their jerseys. quite a bit.
We'll finish up with
I'm
those
so
stats?
sorry. They had 0 out of 9 for their power play, and 6 out of 10 for their penalty kill.
Yeah, this was a bad week for Florida, but I would say it's probably okay because they were doing really well before this.
Yeah. What would you like to hear Clay's comments on this week?
I would love to hear.
He
Clay's
had no
comments.
best player.
Good.
Because they're feeling the effects of losing their head coach was the exact sentence that he wrote down here.
And they lost their head coach a couple of weeks ago at this point.
Listen, Bert.
Do you know why they
Deals
lost their
with
head
trauma.
coach?
I don't. Is it depressing? Is it part of the scandal?
Yes.
Oh, then.
You don't want to hear about it.
No, not really.
Okay.
This is an upbeat episode where we talk
Hell
about
yeah.
jerseys.
Hell yeah.
Not depressing about, like, the rest of the world. So I like their jerseys. They actually remind me of, like, soccer jerseys.
Okay.
Because their logo has, like,
I
that
thought
kind of,
maybe
like,
you wouldn't like
a crest.
the line.
I don't
from
mind the
center,
line because
making them
there's
look like a weird
there's
Oreo.
a crest in the line.
Yeah, their logo does kind of look
It's
like a
very
crest.
European.
They used to have. I wonder if I could find their old logo. real
That's
quick.
okay.
But I like their old logo.
Well,
so
I
you're
like
gonna
their
look at
new
it.
logo because it has a. Do you hear that? That's her drinking
Oh, yeah, we
water
hear it.
in the other room.
We hear it every time.
She's so loud. I'm surprised she's being as good as she is.
There she is. This is their old logo.
Oh my gosh, their old logo is so much better.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's a panther like leaping at you.
It is a panther leaping
It's really
at you.
cool. I
Those
really
are
like
really
that
great.
logo.
I don't love the color of the blue. I like their colors better now. I like that
Okay.
they don't have a blue, and I like that the yellow isn't as noticeable. It's more of like a gold.
The yellow's almost not even there.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
gold.
it's just like a trim.
So I like the color scheme of their new jerseys, but definitely had better logo on their old jerseys.
Yeah, I miss their old logo.
I would give this a solid 7 out of 10. It would get an 8, but they don't have a specialty. Like
They do not.
So they automatically lose a point.
That's fair. That's fair.
More me. More
More
me talking.
more you.
Friends,
You
I
keep going
apologize
until
for this.
the end of the Atlantic Division.
The Montreal Canadiens say it like French. He wrote "say it French like" in the parentheses as if I didn't know how to pronounce Canadians.
Oh, I miss you, Clay.
What a monster! I know how to
Try to
say
say
that
it, bud.
word.
Say it French like the Montreal Canadiens.
Say it French like one sentence.
This is from the guy who constantly gets French names wrong.
Well, maybe that's why he wanted to help me.
Maybe.
I find
Maybe.
it rude. So they're 0 and 1 and 2, so also not doing great. They
No,
had an
they're not very
overtime loss against the LA Kings.
Hey.
Take that, context clues. They had a 4-2 win against the Carnegie.
Carnegie?
I'm trying to think of what CGY would be. Don't tell me. CGY. Chicago?
Nope. It's a Canadian team.
That's why I said Carnegie.
It's not Carnegie.
Is it like Carnegie?
I guess almost, yeah.
Just tell me.
Calgary.
Stupid. Just kidding. They won against Calgary. Good for them. And then they had an overtime loss against Detroit. And then they had wait, they didn't win. That's confusing. They said he said they were 0 to 1 to 2. That suggests no wins.
1 and 2. Yeah. They didn't win.
But it says they won
But
against Carnegie.
okay. Ginger.
We're doing some looking up, folks, because Clay
Clay has gotten things wrong before.
we're
Stop
doing
looking at
our
me.
very own corrections corner live on air.
ESPN, load faster.
I didn't use it.
Sorry, folks. Trail Canadians.
Right now, Ginger is trying to get us to play ball with her.
Ginger's
to
trying
paint
to.
a picture for
Well, they
you.
did beat Calgary.
So he just mistyped.
Yes, he mistyped.
So we don't know what their
As he is wont to do.
yeah. So we don't actually know what their stats were for this week, but we'll keep going. Well, I can figure it out.
Yeah.
Overtime loss, a win, an overtime loss, and a regular loss. So he just missed a 1. It's 1-1-2.
1-1 and 2.
So he just missed a 1.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay, Clay. We'll forgive you this time.
Just this one time. So that brings their record up to 4 to 11 to 2. And their power play this
Not
week was 2 for 12, which is bad. And
Yep.
their penalty kill is 9 out of 11, which is okay.
True.
Their best player is Jake Allen. Love a good name like Jake Allen. He had
Man, you haven't even gotten
63
anyone
out of
hard, man.
68.
Saves, probably.
Wonderful. He must be a goalie. Oh,
Yep.
he is. He listed as a goalie. He had a .926% save over 2.1 games. And both Jake Allen and Mike Hoffman, another great basic name, were concussed versus Detroit and are questionable for Tuesday. Jonathan Drouin, we're hoping that's how it says.
Yeah, no, you nailed that shit. You're doing better than Clay already.
Take it. Out indefinitely with a head injury.
Bummer.
Everyone, protect your heads. They're important.
Protect your neck, too.
Oh, yeah, protect your neck, too. The fact that goalies recently just got the neck guards is very distressing to me.
Well, it was more like...
don't bounce it. We have downstairs people.
Oh, sorry. It was more of like they had neck guards, but they weren't required to wear them.
Stressful.
And then the NHL was just like, you guys are stupid, wear them.
So these are okay jerseys. The blue is a little reminiscent of...
Buffalo.
Yeah, that bright blue, but it's toned down. It also looks very old-fashioned, which I really like. It looks like something they'd wear in like the 80s or 90s.
This is another team who I don't think their jerseys have changed very much.
I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. Even with losing a point for not having a specialty jersey. Because I like it.
All the way back in time. Yeah, look at that. It's
Yeah,
basically the same.
I just like them.
We went to as far back as we could on this website.
1917 to 1918, and they have very similar jerseys.
Almost exactly the same.
Yeah. So I'm going to give them, even though they don't have a specialty jersey, I'm going to give them 8 out of 10, because I would have given them a 9 out of 10. So.
But they're like Detroit. I don't know what their specialty jersey would be, because...
Just something completely different, you know?
Well, most of the other specialty jerseys are like the team's old kind of jersey.
I get that, but it could just be something festive and fun, too.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's not true for all of them, actually.
May I continue talking?
Yes, you may.
Great, because I want to be done with this league. The Ottawa Senators went 1-3 this week, bringing their stats up to 4-10-1, which is not good.
No, it's not.
They lost against Boston and also the LA Kings.
Mm-hmm. And you happy you got that one before?
I know it takes me a second. They won against Pittsburgh, and then they lost against Calgary. They had a 2 out of 16 penalty play. Not great. And they had a 10 for 13 power kill. Is it power play and penalty kill?
Yes.
Did I get those backwards?
They had a 2 for 10 power kill.
I've had a third of a cider. They had a 2 for 6. We already said it. It's fine. Use deductive reasoning. Drake Batherson had 2 goals, 2 assists in 3 games. Not bad. And the next 3 games are postponed because 10 players have COVID, which Clay told me about when I called him earlier. And he was very involved about it. But I'm not going to be. They have COVID. But they're all vaccinated.
They got a lot of COVID
because
problems.
Because they're Canada, so they're all vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, almost everybody except one player in the entire NHL is vaccinated.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Hockey.
So they're doing pretty good with the vaccinations. Unfortunately, they're still having outbreaks.
I mean, outbreaks are going to happen, but at least it's not as severe.
Well, for most of the players, they have no or very minor symptoms.
Well, that's because they're vaccinated.
Yeah, that's because they're vaccinated.
Get your boosters, kids.
But, they're keeping them away from the rest of the players, obviously, for safety reasons.
I like these jerseys, actually. I like the black with the red stripes. I think it's very bold. And I actually like I'm probably contradicting something I said earlier, but I like these.
It's fine.
And I like the helmet guy. It's great.
The helmet guy? Oh, the senator?
Yeah, he's great. Their logo is a man with a helmet with a big old feather on it.
Helmet man. I think he's supposed to be like a centurion.
I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, even though they don't have a fancy jersey.
They don't, no.
7 out of 10.
Righteous.
There's a hard name with this one. Okay, so Tampa Bay Lightning, here we go. They're 1-0-1, bringing their record to 7-3-3, which is not bad.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah.
It's respectable. And they had an overtime loss against Carolina. Mm-hmm. They had an overtime win against Florida. Florida versus Florida. And they had nothing else. Nothing else. That was it. They played 2 games, folks. And they had a 1-for-1 power play. Not bad.
They had 1 power play.
Yeah, and they only had 1 penalty kill, and they didn't get it.
Ooh.
0 for 1.
That'll bring those percentages down.
You had 1 job. Oh, that was just in a game. That was just 1 game. That was just
against
Florida.
Wasn't the whole. That wasn't the whole week.
I didn't jump down a line. This is very confusing.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
They had a 1 for 5 power play, so it didn't get better.
No, it's worse.
And then they had a 4 for 6 penalty kill, so not terrible.
Better, but not super good.
Are we ready for this shout out?
Sure.
All right.
Who's their top player? Tell me.
Vasilevsky.
Ooh, you got it.
Yeah.
Andrei Vasilevsky is their starting goalie.
Take that. Sounding out words.
What country is he from? Do you think?
Russia.
Yeah, he is.
That's
he is
pretty.
from Russia.
Or like Eastern Europe.
No, you were right.
No, I
Russia.
know, but like, what else was I gonna guess? Canada. I mean, he could be from Canada. You're right. He could be American.
There's like.
You never know.
There's like younger, technically Russian players who are coming out who are actually from Canada.
I mean, there's probably a lot of players that are from America that are
they're starting
Russian.
To, yeah.
So he had a 55 out of 58 save, which
Pretty
was
good.
pretty good. He had a .932 save percentage over 2 games. And then Cernak or Cernak?
Cernak.
Cernak is out with a wrist injury.
Boo.
Poor Cernak. Prayers for a quick recovery.
T's and P's for Cernak. Thoughts and prayers. T's and P's. How do you feel about their jerseys?
I really like it.
Yeah?
It's a different blue. So
it's
also
a little deeper of a
it's
blue.
It's a bold blue, like it is in Buffalo, but it's not
It's a little
as
darker.
bright. It's a more royal. And I always go for a good royal blue, and it's clean. It's just blue and white. They're not trying to be fancy with like a yellow or anything.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I like is this away, the white one?
Yes.
The away one is great. It's basically the same thing in
the
opposite colors.
Just the opposite. Even their logo is the opposite color.
I know, and I actually really like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I love their specialty jerseys because they're all
cool.
black,
it's like
but
a
they
weird
kind of like
smoky
fade.
color.
Yeah, it gets smoky around the wrists.
It's really interesting.
And it's a cool illusion, and it looks like they just like put them in black and white, and I like it a lot. So I'm gonna give.
They got some pretty solid jerseys.
You know what? 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
For Tampa Bay.
Good job, Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
Also, their farm team is in Syracuse.
Oh, right, the Syracuse Crunch. I was close.
So, shout out Syracuse Crunch. And, that's it.
Can you hear that?
I can hear her. She's chewing. It's fine.
I know. She's chewing on the
favorite ball.
I'm like at my feet. It's just funny.
They came home with her from the shelter. It's her favorite ball.
I believe it is one more team in that division. And then you get a nice little break.
Yes, I did. I know. I had to scroll back up. The Toronto Maple Leafs. 3-1 this week. Good job, Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah. Listen, I love Toronto. Not necessarily the Maple Leafs.
I've never been to that city. I want to go.
I can't say I've ever been there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I was. I don't remember. I think I went there. Anyway, I was like 3. So, it was great.
Be more memorable.
There's
Canada.
A waterfall.
That's at Niagara.
Yeah, on the Canada side, Bert.
Yeah, but that's not in Toronto.
It's not? What's that city right there? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm very sure.
What is that city?
Niagara.
No, it's Niagara, America.
The Niagara Falls in America is in Buffalo, I thought.
Yeah, but it's called Niagara.
All right, just keep reading and I'll look it up. It's not Toronto.
Maple Leafs. We're 3-1 this week, so that makes their now average 10 to 5-1. They had a loss against the LA Kings, a win against Philly, a 2-1 overtime win against Calgary, and a win against Buffalo. So pretty good stats this week.
All right, you want to hear what the city is?
No. They were 3 out of 9 for their power play, which isn't great, but they were 10 for 10 out of their penalty kill.
Out of their power kill.
Really good. Their shout-outs for their best player is Campbell, who's one of their goalies. He had 66 out of 67 saves this week.
Real good.
For a .985 save percentage. Sounds like my average in college. Over 2 games.
Jesus.
They shut out Philly. Listen, I have to have my humble brag so I can get them, okay? Clay said, ignore the loss to the Kings.
Oh, I don't know why.
Okay. I guess
Okay.
Oh, I get it, because he made Campbell one of his standout players, but they lost 1-5 against the Kings while Campbell was goalie. So he's saying these good things about him, but ignore
it that damn.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to say
That's not how it works, Clay.
Everyone ignore the loss to the Kings, please.
Ignore his play in that game. Otherwise, he was really good.
He did a really good job. Also, William Nylander had 2 goals
Close
and
enough.
3 assists. What is it? Nylander?
I've heard people say Nylander or Nylander.
All right, solid. 2 goals and 3 assists over 4 games and 1 game-winning goal.
Sick.
What is the town called, Bert?
Niagara Falls.
No, it's
Ontario,
not.
Canada.
Ontario.
Yes,
that's what I was trying to...
That's the Providence. Not the Providence. province in Canada.
Is Toronto in Ontario?
I think so, yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I've been to Ontario. I can't say if
Just, you
Toronto.
might have been to Niagara Falls.
No, I was.
Which is the city in Ontario.
What's that place called? I used to sing the theme song, and I used to know it by heart.
Oh, boy.
Marineland.
What about Marineland?
Marineland, the theme song. Everyone loves Marineland.
I've never heard it.
Now you know what to say when you leave here today. Everyone loves Marineland.
Shout out Marineland.
Marineland, love it. Don't know where you are, but it's in Canada.
You want to talk about the Toronto jerseys?
Also great, because it's essentially...
They're pretty similar.
They're identical to the Tampa jerseys, but they are weird throwback St. Patrick's Day ones.
Oh, they used to be the Toronto St. Patrick's. Way back in the day. Or there was a team called the Toronto St. Patrick's way back in the day.
Well, I don't hate it. I don't hate that jersey, but I don't like it as much as I like the Tampa one. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because I still obviously like their main jerseys.
Oh, I guess they're going to wear that jersey on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's what it says. So I like their main jerseys because it's a very similar concept to Tampa, which I love. But I don't like their specialty jersey as much, so they get an 8 out of 10.
All right, fair enough.
But I still like it. I like the throwback.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'm done.
You're done for that division.
I've been talking for so long.
You have another division.
All right, well, I'm going to sit back and drink now.
All right, that's fine, because I'm going to talk about the Central Division, and we're going to start with the Arizona Coyotes, who have a pretty dope jersey for a really bad team. They were 0-3 this week. They lost to Minnesota, Chicago, and Nashville to take their overall record, drumroll please, to 1-13-1 for the season.
Are they always this bad?
Not this bad.
I don't normally pay attention to the Central Division if I do have to watch hockey.
The Coyotes are usually pretty bad.
Okay.
They have made the playoffs. They have gone far in the playoffs before, but it's been a pretty long time at this point.
Yeah.
They're kind of like trying to lose this season, but they're on pace for like a historically bad season.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty bad. They were actually 2 for 12 on the power play, which is better than usual for them.
Okay.
But they were 7 for 11 on the penalty kill, which is really bad.
Oh, really
bad. And they did not have a top player this week because they are 1-13-1. And Dmitry Yaskin is out long term, but I don't think that they disclosed what the injury was. But their jerseys are pretty dope.
While I do not always enjoy Christmas colors on sports jerseys, I like the detailing so much in these jerseys. Like, there's a lot of really
How do you feel about this logo?
I think it's so funny.
So this is actually this is obviously a Native American inspired design. It's called a kachina.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is like something that the natives in the area are cool with, like
as far as I know.
Blackhawks.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything negative said about it.
Well, as long as they're on board. I like the detailing, and I like that they have a completely different logo on their specialty jersey.
Well, this actually was their jersey. I believe last year this was their main jersey.
Okay.
And then this was their specialty jersey, but people liked it so much.
It's cool.
That they just changed it to their normal jersey. Actually, the Penguins did that too.
Okay.
The Penguins jersey now was their specialty jersey from, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. But everybody was like, yo, those are way better than the jerseys that you currently have. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, fuck it, we'll make them our main jerseys from now on. Mm-hmm. Don't look at me like that just because you don't like it. But these are pretty dope.
Yeah, no, I mean,
There's also another version of it that has purple in it.
Oh.
But that's
that
not
one
shown
has purple
here.
In it.
Yeah, but like the black in this jersey is purple instead.
Gotcha. I'm going to say like 8 out of 10.
All right. Well, they have one thing going for them this year, and that's their dope jerseys.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to another team that's not very good. The Chicago Blackhawks.
Poor Mason.
Who did beat Pittsburgh. Actually, they went 2-0 this week. They beat Pittsburgh in a shootout, and they beat Arizona, like I just mentioned. They only had 2 games this week. But their overall record is 4-9-2. Not super good. They were 1 for 7 on the power play and 5 for 6 on the penalty kill. Marc-Andre Fleury is their number 1 player this week. He was 2-0. Had a 145 goals against average and a 955 save percentage. Pretty good. I love Marc-Andre Fleury. And no major injuries to speak of. How do you feel about their jerseys?
They're good. They're solid. They're pretty plain.
Yeah, this is another team whose jerseys haven't changed that much since they came into the league.
7 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
All right.
I feel like I'm getting nicer as this goes on.
Well, yeah. Again, they don't have a specialty jersey either.
Yeah, that's why it's like 6.5.
6.5. Now we're getting into decimal points.
I'm feeling generous.
All right, let's move on to
Yes, I love these.
the Colorado Avalanche, who were also 2-0 this week. They scored 7 goals against Vancouver, and they scored 6 goals against San Jose, which is a lot.
It's a lot of goals.
It is. They were 3 for 8 on the power play.
Not great.
And 4 for 5. And that's pretty good, actually. Power play, me and Clay have mentioned this before, but if you have a power play between 20 and 30%, you're doing pretty good.
Wow.
And their penalty kill was 4 for 5.
All right.
Their overall record is 6-5-1. They had kind of a slow start to the season, but they're starting to right their ship a little bit. This team is actually a lot of people's pick to go to the Stanley Cup Finals from the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that holds up. Their top player this week was Samuel Girard. He had 1 goal and 5 assists. And unfortunately, Nathan MacKinnon is on the IR with a lower body injury, and he's out for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, lame. What do you think about these jerseys?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, you like them a lot?
I like the different shades of blue in the different jerseys. I
Yeah.
like that they have a completely different logo for their specialty jersey.
They do, yeah, that's true.
Than their other ones. I like their logo, and I like their color scheme. It's not bright colors. They're muted blues and
muted,
maroons.
Yeah, and a maroon color.
So it's pleasing to the eye. 10 out of 10.
I would agree with you. These are some slick jerseys.
Yeah, that's 3 10s right there.
Ooh,
that I've
3
given
10s.
out.
All right, here's I think some jerseys you're not going to like a lot. The Dallas Stars, who were 1-1 this week. They lost to Nashville and they beat Philadelphia. They were 2 for 6 on the power play this week, 4 for 5 on the penalty kill, and their overall record is 5-6-2. I believe that win over Philadelphia is their first win in regulation this year. Their other 4 wins have either been in overtime or a shootout, which is a weird stat.
Yep.
Their top player this week was Rua Pintz, who had 2 goals and an assist. And no major injuries this week. How do you feel about these jerseys?
Well, if I might. I think it's interesting. Dallas, their teams are all blue. The Cowboys, the Mavericks. They're blue.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Pretty
they're actually the same color.
Bright blue, yeah.
Right, they're
a
blue
very
and silver almost, right?
Well, Dallas is blue and white. I mean, their jerseys might be silver.
The jerseys are silver.
I'm thinking about the cheerleaders. The players probably wear blue and silver. And I'm also thinking about the dancers for the Mavericks. They're all blue. They wear blue.
Yeah.
Same color blue.
But
so I think it's interesting that the Dallas Stars are veering away from that color into this interesting choice of green.
If I remember correctly.
Did they used to be blue?
I think they used to have some blue in their jersey.
I mean, that might be a navy down there, but it could also be black. I don't know.
Get their old jerseys here for a second.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. Oh, their old jerseys are a lot better than their current jerseys.
Yeah, I actually do like their old jerseys a lot better.
I like that you see the star in the green.
Yeah, the star and the green one.
Because I like that they're the Stars. Because, the Dallas Cowboys have stars. I don't know a lot about the Mavericks logo, but
Texas is
probably a star. The Lone Star State.
Yeah.
So I like that they're keeping the star theme with their name, but I don't like the greens they chose, and I don't like they're separating out from the rest of their...
Never mind, they didn't have blue. They didn't used to have blue. I thought they did.
And then the highlighter green is a lot. But I do like that they add the Texas in the logo for it.
Yeah. I like the logo in their alternate jerseys, but that bright green is really hard to look at.
That's Seattle. The
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks have I think it's their color rush jersey. It's real hard to look at.
Yeah, I'm going to say 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Not impressed.
One of the things I think that might be going into their colors is that they used to be, this franchise used to be in Minnesota, and their name was the Minnesota North Stars.
Oh, okay.
And I think they had very similar colors.
Okay.
They have a very similar color scheme. So I think when they moved the team, they kept the color scheme and almost the name.
Yeah, I don't know. I like how, you said, Pittsburgh has, all the unity between the teams and the colors, and I like that. So I don't know. I understand the history again, but they could have made their specialty or their throwback jersey green and then gone with, the
True.
Dallas blue.
True.
which I think would have looked better.
Well, you never know. You never know what the future holds.
Call me, Dallas Stars. I'll design your next jersey.
Call me.
Marketing department, call me.
All right, who's next? Actually, speaking of Minnesota, they're up next. The Minnesota Wild were 2-1 this week. They beat Arizona. They lost to Vegas, and they beat Seattle. They were 2 for 10 on the power play. That's okay. And 7 for 8 on the penalty kill. They are 10-4 overall. They're having a pretty good start to the year. They had 2 top players this week. Rem Pitlick had 3 goals and assists, and Ryan Hartman had a goal and 3 assists. And again, no major injuries for these guys. How do you feel about these jerseys?
They're good. They're solid. I like that, again,
It's
green.
It's a darker green.
Not like a bright green. I like that they have a really cool logo of, like, a mountain with, like, trees and stuff.
Well, it's also supposed to be...
like a panther
like
head.
a bear or
a
cougar head or something.
I do like that.
It's kind of hard to tell what the animal is supposed to be, but they have bears up there.
Well, it's wild,
big
so
exactly.
It's a wild.
It's a wild animal of some sort.
I do like their throwback jersey. I like that it's got a cute little throwback logo on it. It looks very old school. So I'm gonna say 7.5 out of 10.
All right, 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Minnesota. 7.5 out of 10.
Do you hear her licking my hand?
I do, yeah. She's very lucky tonight. I think because no one else is home.
Yeah.
So she's not getting as much attention as she probably thinks she deserves.
Right.
All right, let's talk about the Nashville Predators. They were 3-0 this week. I can't wait for you to say something about their jerseys. They beat Dallas, they beat St. Louis in overtime, and they beat Arizona. They only have 4 power plays this week in those 3 games, which is low. They were 1 for 4, and they were 7 for 10 on the penalty kill. Not super good. And they are 9-5-1 overall. Okay. As for their top players, I have 2 of them. Matt Duchene had 4 goals and 2 assists this week. And Mikael Granlund had 1 goal and 5 assists this week.
Not bad.
Unfortunately for injuries, they're one of the teams that got hit the hardest this week. Philip Forsberg is on the IR with an upper body injury. Cousins is also on the IR for an undisclosed injury. So yeah, that sucks.
Does suck.
Yeah. How do you feel about these jerseys? Be honest.
3 out of 10.
3. Ooh, ouch.
That's so...
I believe that's the lowest one yet.
Bright.
That good mustard yellow.
Yeah.
No one
wants mustard yellow.
I don't love their jerseys.
No one looks good in mustard yellow.
Mm-mm.
Mustard yellow on ice just looks like pee.
It's kind of like
that's
that
the color of
pea
snow
yellow, yeah.
that they tell you, that bottom jersey that's mostly white with the yellow accents. That's
it's kind of a dehydrated pea yellow.
Yeah, it's hey, avoid that snow, children. Some dog peed in it. That's what these jerseys are.
It makes me think of the Abominable Snowman from Monsters, Inc.
They're lemon flavored.
Are they?
They were lemon flavored.
Welcome to the Himalayas.
Yeah.
What about their logo? How do you feel about their logo?
It's cute. It's fine.
Saber-tooth tiger.
It deserves a better jersey.
I agree. I don't. This might be the jersey I like the least.
I feel like if they'd gone with a primary blue and done little yellow accents.
I want to say some of their older jerseys might have been.
And
primary.
if it was a primary white with then the secondary blue and a little bit of yellow, if they'd used that yellow sparingly,
less, yeah,
it could have been fine. But they didn't.
Let's look at.
They really went for it.
They really went for it.
Yeah.
Where are you guys? Oh, there you are. Yeah, see, these are their old jerseys.
So much better.
Yeah, their
That's
old
exactly
jerseys
what
are
I'm
much
talking
better.
About. Their older jerseys are mostly navy or white with tiny
that yellow's there.
Hints of yellow,
yeah.
But a mustard yellow is a great accent. Throw that on a front door of a navy blue house and you're cooking with gas. But make it the house, absolutely not. No one wants their house painted mustard yellow. People want their front door painted mustard yellow.
Yeah, those were their original jerseys.
Super good. Their original jerseys are so much better. The original jerseys I might have given a 9 out of 10.
They are much better. They're mostly blue. It's the same logo.
Blue with secondary white or white with secondary blue and strips of yellow, which is all you need. So, and now they're so bad.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't like their jerseys.
3 out of 10.
They're hard
Come
to
on, Nashville, be better.
like another team.
Can you hear me breathing?
Yes, I can. Stop it.
I'll breathe through my mouth.
All right, let's talk about the St. Louis Blues.
So pretty.
St. Louis was 1-2-1 this week. Not a super good week for St. Louis. They lost in a shootout to Winnipeg. They beat Winnipeg in a shootout. They lost in overtime to Nashville. They lost to Carolina, and they lost to Edmonton. They were 4 for 11 on the power play this week. That's pretty good, despite their record. And they were 5 for 7 on the penalty kill. Their overall record now is 8-4-2. Still pretty good, despite the bad week. Their top player this week was Robert Thomas. He had 7 assists this week.
Robert, you say?
Robert, I do say. And unfortunately, they lost Oscar Sundqvist to the IR with a knee injury. Bummer. But that's it for them. How do you feel about their jerseys?
See, their main jerseys do what I wish Nashville would do.
Which
gives you a lot of blue and white.
It's like different
with
blues,
yellow
too.
accent. Yeah, you got different blues. They're, what do you call this? Not the specialty one, but what do you call that?
They're alternate. You could call it a specialty one.
Their specialty one blue leans towards an obnoxious
bit
blue
brighter,
without
yeah.
being an obnoxious blue. Like, that's almost like, that's close to my favorite color, with some good accents of yellow. And then I also like both of their, like, inaugural uniforms. I mean, the red and blue.
Oh, the uniforms they're wearing for the Winter Classics. Yeah.
Right, the red and blue and gold one isn't the best, but the other one's like that classic kind of like cream color that I really like. So.
Oh yeah, it's not white. It's like a cream color.
8.5 out of 10.
Right on. Yeah, I like the Blues jerseys.
I like it. They're good.
Yeah. All right, and then last but not least in the Central Division, there they are, is the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg went 2-0-1 this week. They, like I just said, lost in a shootout to St. Louis. They beat San Jose, and they beat LA in overtime. They were 0 for 6 on the power play this week, and 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. I gave their top player to 2 players. Kyle Connor had 3 goals this week, and Connor Hellebuck was 2-0-1. He played all 3 games.
Wow.
He had a 162 goals against and a 944 save percentage. Pretty good week for those guys. And their overall record is 8-3-3. Yeah. How do you feel about these jerseys?
What do you think I would give it? I want to know, after all of my scoring, where do you think I would
8
give
out of 10?
I'm going to say 9.
Really?
I mean, I like, again, there's different shades of blue.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing bright or obtrusive, and their
No, there's not at
specialty
all.
jersey has a different logo, which I like.
I think it's actually their original logo.
Which I like.
The Jets logo.
And it's also, they add some red in, which is very limited on their other jerseys. It's just in their logo.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they bring that out. And then again, it's just like red and navy with some white, like very classic. They're not trying to go too flashy.
Right.
I think they're great. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. There you go.
Half your listeners are going to be like, what is happening?
Yeah, they can look up the jerseys themselves.
Why is this girl talking?
Well, because one of the hosts isn't here this week, so.
And I like to rate outfits.
Yeah,
So
that's
here we
fine. Now it's your turn.
Yes, it
you
is.
You gotta do the Pacific Division.
I'm ready. Did you not see me looking ready?
You look very ready as you were staring at the screen.
Staring at you. The Anaheim Ducks, which is one of my favorite teams because they're Ducks. Oh.
She just looked at the jersey.
They're bad. Oh, man, Anaheim, be better. 3-0 this week, so not bad. Bringing their total score up to 9-4-3, which is good. They had an overtime win against Vancouver. They won against Seattle and Vancouver again. They were 3 out of 0 for their power plays.
Oh, Clay.
Oh, Clay.
Who knows? It sounds like they did okay on the power play.
They were like out of 8. They had 3 out of 8. I think that's supposed to be an 8.
Okay.
3 out of 8 for their power play.
Still pretty good.
He puts them individually for each game, so I can add it up.
Oh, there you go.
Math, kids. And then, 3 out of 9. 3 out of 9 for the power play. Because
Still
the 9
pretty
is
good.
next to a 0. So I think his big thumb just
There you
missed. And then they were 4 for 4 for their penalty kill, which is not
Oh.
bad. She just wants love.
She
If
really
you hear
wants
that
attention.
noise, it's her tail slapping the tablecloth.
And her trying to play with my hand.
Where's her ball?
I don't know.
It's probably under the tail. Where's your ball?
Oh, it's under you.
It's under me.
Yeah.
Hold on, kids. Good game. Alright, now they're just chasing the ball. And 4 for 4 for their penalty kill, which
Real
is
good.
pretty good.
They only took 4 penalties this week, too.
Yeah. Best player is Troy Terry, again, he says. 3 goals.
I think he was the best player they had last week, too.
And 3 assists in 3 games. He has a 14-game point streak.
Oh, shit.
And the Ducks have won 7 straight.
Hell yeah, Ducks.
So they're doing really good.
A little thing about Troy Terry. Clay called him Tory Terry the first time he brought him up, which is just really... He just transposed 2 letters in his name, but
gotcha.
it's just really funny.
Tory Terry, good job. Good game.
GG.
I like their jerseys. I don't like their specialty jersey.
Their specialty jersey's pretty rough.
Because it's just bright orange, and
it's
I'm not about it.
It's like a weird orange, too.
And it's got like also the gold and black, which doesn't work for me with the bright orange being the main color.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to go with their
But I do
logo.
like their old logo.
The old Mighty Ducks logo.
Yeah, I love that. So I like that they use that on their specialty jersey, but the color, and I understand why they went with orange, because it's always an accent, so I understand bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah.
But I still don't like it.
You find like they're super old. These are their old.
I was gonna say, weren't they
jerseys.
green? I always thought they were green.
They used to be green and purple.
See, I like that. It's an unconventional color mix.
Well, I think me and Clay have said this before. I wish more teams use the color purple in the NHL because it's a very underrated color.
And that one's like a violet, like it's like a deep.
It looks nice, and it looks good with the green too.
It does. It really does. So yeah,
Bring
the
that
orange.
back,
The orange
Ducks.
I don't love, but I like their original jerseys. So I guess I'd say like 6.5 out of 10.
So the black and with orange.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the middle one, I'd probably give them a 7 or 7.5.
Okay.
But 6.5 because the middle one's bad.
What do you think about their logo?
I don't hate it. It's like a foot. It looks like a duck foot.
Yeah.
Birds.
Birds.
So yeah, it's good. I would like to take this moment to pause and talk about the shirt that Bert is wearing.
Oh sure, go ahead.
Because it's a black shirt that in white letters says "A beer may help," that his mother
She did.
bought.
I got it today.
And sent to him. Clay has one too. I'm not wearing it because I'm wearing my Caps jersey for the occasion.
Yes, my mother bought us matching shirts.
bro shirts that says "A beer may help" for their
For
beer
our
and
podcast,
hockey
yeah.
podcast.
For our podcast.
So I just like everyone to have that visual with me.
It's like such a simple shirt.
It is.
Nothing.
There's
It
nothing.
just
It's
says
just
that beer may
in
help.
very
Yeah.
basic text.
And also, my mom's listening. Shout out to my mom.
Yeah, Lane. So the Calgary Flames were 1-2-1 this week, bringing their average up to 8-3-4.
Not an average. It's their overall record.
Their overall record to 8-3-4. The numbers remain. They lost to.
What is it?
We're gonna sound it out and come back. They lost to Montreal. They had an overtime loss to Toronto, and they won to Ottawa. It's got to be a Canadian team.
What are the letters?
SJS.
It's not a Canadian team.
No, I didn't think so.
They're one of your other teams. You haven't done them yet, but you keep guessing. We're not going to sit here while you
San Jose Sharks.
There you go.
See, that's one of the teams I don't know very well at all. What team am I talking about right now? The Calgary
Flames.
So yeah, they didn't do good this week. They were 1 out of 9 on their power play, which is not good, and 13 out of 15 for their penalty kills. Although their shout out is Vladar.
Oh, the goalie. Is he a goalie?
Vladar, yeah.
Vladar, I think.
Vladar.
Maybe Vladar.
He had a shutout versus Ontario, Ottawa.
Hell yeah.
See, we're talking
Ottawa
about Ontario.
is in Ontario. Yeah.
And now I'm confused.
That's true.
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
So good job, Vladar.
Vladar.
Oh, God. Ketchup and mustard.
And that is kind of what their jerseys
And
look like.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
5 out of 10. I feel like it's very
Alright.
self-explanatory,
Alright.
and I don't need to talk about it.
Yeah. They're another team whose jerseys really haven't changed that much.
Which I love tradition, but like not that much.
You know what's funny? They used to be the Atlanta Flames, and then they moved to Calgary.
Yeah. Next, we have the Edmonton Oilers, all the Canada teams. They were 2-2 this week, bringing their overall stats to 11-3, which is interesting. They have no overtime. They either win or they lose, and most of the time they win.
No,
So
they're
good
doing
job,
really well this year.
Good job, the Oilers. Their 2 losses this week were against Buffalo and Detroit, and their 2 wins were against Boston and the St. Louis Blues.
Mm-hmm.
We hope.
Yes.
Their
it is the
power
Blues.
play was 3 out of 13, and their penalty kill was 12 out of 13. So good job.
Very good.
Here we go with the names. Leon Draisaitl?
It's close. Draisaitl.
Draisaitl?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. It's 2 AIs in a row.
He's German.
Great. He's the best player again, Clay says.
Yeah, he's
5
playing
goals
really well
and
so
3
far there.
assists in 4 games. Mike Smith suffered a setback in his rehab, so there's no timetable for his return.
Bummer. He's goalie.
Mike Smith, I like
He's
your
also
name.
41.
Wow, it's easy to pronounce, and I appreciate you. Very similar, I would say, to the Islanders in terms of color.
Yeah, kind of.
That orange and blue. I like their specialty logo, or specialty jersey, quite a bit. The all blue with the orange highlights, I like that quite a bit. And I like their white jerseys. Again, the orange ones are a bit bright, but I don't hate them. So, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yep.
Good job, Edmonton.
They break up the orange just enough. That is not, hard to look at. Predators take note.
The Kings are next. Where's your ball? Stop
Thank
looking
you
at
for
my hand.
assuming that. You would be correct. They were 3-0-1 this week, so pretty good week. Bringing their average up to 8-5-2. Not their average.
Yeah.
Their overall score
Overall record.
leader thing. They won against Toronto and Ottawa. They had an overtime win against Montreal and an overtime loss against Winnipeg. So, all them Canadians.
All them Canadians.
That's all they did this week was Canadians. They played Canadians. They had a 1 out of 11 on their power play.
Not good.
Not ideal. But a 9 out of 10 on the penalty kill. Can we, real quick, I have no idea what a penalty kill is.
So a penalty kill, so do you know what a power play is?
Yeah, it's when one player has to sit in
Yes,
a box.
so
the other team is on the power
penalty
play.
kill. Is on the penalty kill.
The penalty kill.
So, say it's the Penguins and the Capitals playing.
Love it.
Penguins take a penalty, and they're down one man for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So the Penguins are on the penalty kill because they are trying to kill off
But
those
the
2 minutes.
Capitals are on the power play.
Exactly. You got it. Ooh.
Number 2, kids.
Number 2.
So their jerseys are maybe the most boring thing I've ever seen.
They're pretty.
They're
pretty
just black and white.
Yeah, they're black
Can you
and
scroll
white.
back up?
Sorry.
There's nothing special about their specialty jersey other than it's a different logo, but it's the same color scheme.
I want to try to find their old jerseys for you. Oh, here they are.
Oh, see, I like those.
The
But
yellow
they
and
remind
purple.
me of something else. They look like a basketball jersey. The Suns? No.
Oh,
The Lakers?
yeah, they do kind of
They
look
look
like the
like the
Lakers.
Lakers
Yeah,
jerseys.
they also kind of look like the Minnesota Vikings.
Listen,
too.
I don't like that bright yellow, but I like the purple. They do look like the Vikings.
Yeah,
I like the purple with the yellow.
The all yellow is not. Well,
See, I would've
they
done-
don't use these jerseys.
No, I know.
anymore,
I
unfortunately.
don't like them.
Well,
They're
because the old colors made more sense because they were royal colors.
Yes.
Purple and yellow.
Because they're kings.
Yeah.
This is black and white.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I
it
know.
looks like someone
I know.
just photoshopped it.
Yeah, their jerseys are pretty
Like
boring.
4. Like it's just, there's
Yeah,
nothing to them.
Yeah, they're not great.
I keep breathing very heavily out of my
It's
nose
okay.
into the mic.
It's alright. I'm sure they'll love that. I'm sure all of our fans will love that.
All of them.
Every single one.
Yep.
Who's next?
It's a great question. I like to pause for dramatic effect. I didn't talk about their best players.
Oh, who's their best
So
player?
Sorry, let me talk about it. Nope, we're gonna skip it.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
no,
wait, who
he
was
gave
it?
me a pronunciation. Philip Dano, or is it Dano?
It's Dano.
It looks like Dano because it looks French, but he said Dano.
You know what's crazy is that you figured that out on yourself. Do you know how he said it?
Dano?
He said Denault.
Well, I took French in high school.
Don't make excuses.
Like
for
5
play.
years of
Don't
it.
Make,
I was an AP.
don't make.
Oh,
All right.
And then Andre
Jeez. Oh, I know who it is.
Athanazu?
Athanasiou.
Anthony too.
Boo! Boo!
They both had 2 goals and 2 assists. I'm not even mad about getting that one wrong. That one's not easy.
Boo! No,
2
it's
goals
not.
and
That's
2
not easy.
assists. Quick, I'm assuming he's another player, was
Jonathan
his
Quick.
goalie.
Yeah.
Had 67 out of 68 saves, a .985 save percentage in over 2 games. They shut out Ottawa, and the Jets ended their 7-week streak.
7-week streak.
7-game win streak.
There you
We did it. We did it together.
Oh, they had a
put
7-game
two words
winning
together.
streak, too. That's
They did,
interesting.
but the Jets ended it.
That's interesting because another California team, Anaheim, also.
Do you think that when the Sharks and the Jets play each other, they have
They
dance
have to
battles?
snap.
They have to, like, snap each other?
Yeah, they do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I'm pretty sure it's locked into their NHL contracts that they have to snap at each other.
Do-do-do-do-do. So the Sharks. We didn't rate their jerseys. Bring on the King.
Well,
we did.
no, we did.
We did.
Because they're black and white.
Terrible. The San Jose Sharks were 1-2 this week, bringing their record to 7-6-1. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I said record. Okay, great. They won against Calgary. They lost against Winnipeg and Colorado. They were 1 out of 4 on their power play, and 10 out of 11 on their penalty kill.
All right.
Their best player was Aiden Hill, easy name, who went 37 out of 38, because he's a goalie, and had 2 assists.
Oh, that's interesting. Goalies don't usually get assists,
Yeah,
but every once in a while they'll get one.
Versus Calgary, who they won against. So that's very interesting. So my excited team is next. Oh, I like those.
Yeah,
I like
you like
the
these jerseys?
greenish blue. It's like a
teal color almost.
Yeah, but like a very soft.
Like a darker teal color.
Did you hear that high pitch? Soft. So soft. People are gonna hate this.
Probably.
I don't understand their logo. Is it
a shark.
Badger? Oh, it's a shark because they're the Sharks.
Because the Sharks.
It looks like a badger.
It's a shark biting a hockey stick in half.
That's cute. That's cute.
Is it a badger?
I'm not sitting near enough the computer.
It's not.
This is like maybe.
There we go.
Oh yeah, still looks like a badger.
It does not look like a badger. Looks like a shark.
You know what? 10 out of 10.
Oh,
My
wow.
fourth 10. I know. Well, look at me.
Look at you.
Now the next team I'm very excited to talk about because they're new.
They are.
The
It's
Seattle
first
Kraken.
Season.
They suck. They
Yeah, they're
were
not
0-3 this week, making their average. Are you ready for this? 4-10-1.
Still not the worst.
Not good. They lost against the.
Oh, I know who it is. Does it start with a V?
Yeah. Vancouver?
Nope.
No.
This is
obviously.
VGK.
Yeah. Villanova.
Nope. Villanova?
The Vikings.
Nope.
The Virginia?
No.
Vancouver?
No.
Or
You said Vancouver.
What is it?
It's the Vegas Golden Knights.
So, the Seattle... They lost against this Vegas
She just
Golden
sighed
Knights
and stared at me.
and the Anaheim Ducks and the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, I almost said Vikings.
I did say Vikings.
I saw you almost say Vikings.
So they lost. They just lost a lot.
Yeah.
The power play was 2 out of 8, and the penalty kill was 3 out of 4. The best player, they have one, which is amazing.
Wow.
Is Jordan Eberle.
Eberle. Yeah.
Interesting. I knew someone with that last name, but they pronounced it Eberle. So, potato. Has 2 goals and 2 assists, so good job, Jordan.
He had a good week at least.
And then Clay wrote, defense is bad.
Yeah.
So thank you, Clay.
I think we mentioned this last week or the week before. We actually thought Seattle would have a pretty good defense just based on the guys that they have, but apparently they're not gelling very well, and the team is unfortunately a pretty bad expansion team. But that's honestly to be expected.
Now, jerseys, I'm going to get over the fact they don't have a specialty jersey because
It's
it is their first year.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. I love
Yeah?
those jerseys.
Yeah,
I think
they're
they're
pretty
so cool. I love their logo.
I like the logo
I love
a lot.
their color choices.
I like the logo because it uses that negative space. It's hard to tell because
As the eyeball. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an eyeball in there, but then this line down the S is actually a tentacle.
Oh, it's so cool.
If you saw it up close.
And I went to Seattle this summer, and they
You did?
were selling this stuff everywhere. Like,
Oh,
they
I
were
bet.
so pumped about
They're
it.
trying
Their
to push the
stands
team
were
really hard.
popping up everywhere. But, like, people were super into it, so.
Well, Seattle's one of those cities that really, if they have a sports team to support, they will.
Yeah.
Like their
I don't
Seahawks
know where
always
their
sell out.
complex is, but, like, their
think it's
baseball
in
and football stadiums are right next to each other.
I want to say it's near them.
It's got to be.
But I don't know for certain.
But it's so interesting to see. I've never really seen an NFL stadium super up close before.
Mhm.
So, like, seeing one really up close and then right next to
It's a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Pittsburgh's is kind of like that too. They're not right next to each other, but
Yeah.
there's just like a big parking lot between the two of them.
Dope. Next. Oh, me. Me
Yeah,
next.
it's still you. I'm done.
I have 5 10s. Let's just say that.
You do. Yeah.
Vancouver Canucks. Not a good week to be a Canuck.
Nah.
Whatever a Canuck is.
Do you know what a Canuck is?
What is a Canuck?
A Canuck is actually a weird slur for a Canadian person.
Why would they use that?
I have no idea.
What's their logo? What is that? A
It's
shark?
It's a killer whale?
whale.
It's an orca.
All right, they're embracing it.
Yeah.
So 0 and 3 and 1, bringing their score up to 5 and 9 and 2.
Record.
Not great record. They overtime lost against Anaheim, and then they just straight up lost against the Vegas Knight Golden. He put VKG this time.
Well, that one's on
So,
Clay. That one's on
You're
Clay.
very lucky that
The
I didn't
Vegas
have that.
Knight Golden.
You're like, I didn't have that the first time because I would have been like the Vikings. I still did, but they lost against Colorado and Vegas and Anaheim. Oh, they played Anaheim twice. Good job. They were 0 for 10 on the power play.
Boo.
And 10 out of 17 on the penalty kill. Not great. Niles or Nils Hoglander had 4 goals and 1 assist in 4 games. And Poolman is suspended for 2 games for a high stick. Luke Shen is out with a lower body injury. Defense is bad, and their special teams is super bad. Per Clay.
Per Clay. I like that Clay had left you little notes to say in there.
Yes, it's very nice. If only he'd written out the abbreviations.
You've gotten most of them.
Their jersey's not great.
No? You don't
It's
like
not. See, this is what I would want this Dallas Stars to look like.
that? Is this
Because you
jersey?
have the Dallas blue, but you still have the Stars green. So
Yeah.
it's like blending the two together. This is what Dallas could be. Dallas, take notes.
But you don't like it for Vancouver.
I don't like it.
Why?
It's aggressive. I like the white one. I like the white one and how it has green and blue on the sleeve. I think that's interesting. But the all blue one, I don't like all bright blue like that. I know it's a royal blue,
Okay.
but then with the green breaking it up, it just seems aggressive.
Okay.
Because it's also
So you
very
don't like
strong
it here,
green.
but you like it on, like, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, because they don't have the green.
Okay.
If they didn't have the green,
Yeah,
I like
that's
it better.
fair.
But the green
That's
is also an aggressive green.
Yeah, it's
So
a
it's
little
two
bit.
very
It's not
strong
super
colors.
bright, but it's like a brighter green.
A moss green.
Moss green.
And then I don't think their specialty jerseys that special. There, I said it.
Yeah, that logo that they're using is kind of weird.
Just a
I think
hockey
it's
stick.
supposed to be a C with a hockey stick as like the negative
Seems
space.
like a really solid guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really. I like their logo.
Oh, sorry.
The killer whale logo.
Yeah, I like the logo. So I'd say like a 6 out of 10 because I like the logo.
Okay. The Canuck.
Guys, we're almost done. The Vegas Golden Knights
Yeah,
were 3-0 this week,
last
bringing
team.
up their record
There you go.
to 9-6. Again, no overtime for this team. They don't want it. They won against Seattle, Minnesota, and Vancouver. They were only 3 for 10 on their power play, but they were 13 for 14 on their penalty kill. The best players were Riley Smith and John Marchessault.
Wow. No, yeah, you got it.
Marchessault?
Marchessault. Yeah.
Having 3 goals and 2 assists each. Jake Eichel? Eichel, that makes sense. Had a successful neck surgery. Good job. The doctor says
Good job, Doc.
that his disc was worse than they thought. Eichel was able to go for a walk later that day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thank you,
report too,
Clay,
yeah.
for your notes.
He went for a walk.
Once again. Oh, God.
Yeah, their jerseys
I
are
like
great.
their original and their
like
white
their top one?
Yeah, because again, the mustard yellow is sparing.
Yeah.
But when the mustard yellow is the whole thing,
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
again, no one wants to paint their house mustard yellow. You just want it to be like the front
There's
door.
probably some psycho out there that wants their house mustard yellow.
If you're listening, you do you.
Stop.
No, you do you. But most people don't want a mustard yellow house. They want a mustard yellow door. So use it sparingly, friends. So like a 5.5.
Well, they are the Golden Knights, so that gold's got to be in there.
5.5.
Excuse me. All right,
Oh, I did it.
now put those back on.
Oh,
We're not quite done yet.
I did it.
We gotta say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
So that was, I believe, week 5 of the NHL. Thank you, Jenny,
Anytime.
for coming on and being our special guest host.
Always.
We'll see if we have to do this again.
Probably.
Probably. I'm sure I'll be out of town at some point, and then I'll make
You're
you
gonna
do
make me
my
do it
part.
again?
Yeah. And then you guys have to figure out how to record this too.
Well, we have all the stuff.
Yeah,
You
except
just
for
have
my
the
computer.
so you
Yeah.
can drop it off before you leave.
No, this is my computer.
It's also your podcast. So
That's
if you
true.
want it to be successful.
Well, there's a way that we can set this up to like
your
call
voice.
in
So
and
right
stuff.
now, folks, I just want to say that we're looking at the feed where you can see like this
the lines.
the lines.
the
What
sound.
do you call that? Like the sound spread.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time Bert talks, it's so big. It's like
How dare you?
it's like ah, and it gets
It's not
really,
that big.
It is.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It could be a lot bigger.
See, there it is.
There it goes.
Because normally when you start talking, you really get in the mic there.
Well, I like people to hear what I have to say. All right.
People can hear what you have to say from back here too.
Shut up.
Look how big it is. Oh my goodness.
But as always, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Massive.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at BuzzedPucks.
BuzzedPucks.
Thank you. That's correct. BuzzedPucks.
Don't forget the @ sign. That's very important.
Yeah, it's very,
'Cause
very
it's
important.
Twitter.
It's very important. And we'll be back next week for week 6. Maybe Clay will be back. Maybe I'll just make Jenny do this from now on.
I mean, he will be back, but I am more than happy to offer my special services.
Maybe we'll get you on mic like every episode.
But here's the thing: I've already rated the jerseys. So
I
now
know
what
we
are
have to
gonna
maybe
do? Haircuts, because some of them
Maybe.
are bad.
maybe I'll just pull up a random player
Yeah,
from
but I
each
don't
team.
like to like tear people down for their appearance. Like the jerseys is like
Okay, I guess that's
different.
fair.
We'll think
Yeah, I don't know.
about it.
We'll figure out something else. Maybe we can have Jenny come in for a special like rate this thing every week. I don't know. We'll see.
That's great.
We'll see. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Clay will be back, and I will be here theoretically. And thanks for listening.
What's up? Something to think about. Will we be here next week?
Will any of us be here next
Does
week?
anyone really know?
Does anyone know? Who's to say?
Find out next Tuesday at noon to see if we were here.
Same puck time, same puck channel. Did you like that?
No.
Did you like that?
Goodbye.
Bye-bye!